Park, Cicero, Illinois, for the 4th annual Joe Lopez Phil Coronado Memorial Softball Tournament, put on by Manny Sanchez. New location this year. They normally do this at Harrison Park, which we've been to many times, but it's available. So we got a game here against the Munchies and 10 deep. 10 deep been having a pretty year in the A division. And the Munchies are kind of a mixed team. They got a Meatball City guy. They got some Menace guys. I saw a Future guy out there. So open roster out here. So it should be a good one. We'll have Los Panchos and Hardway next. So a little doubleheader action. And here's Pop Alejandro lead off the ball game. And Pop's a little flare. And oh! Hit Manny Sanchez in a delicate spot almost. Might be singing soprano for a while. So should be a good weekend. 10 teams, double elim. 2 time slots today. Sorry, I'm jostling with my headphone. And then it's going to restart tomorrow at 10 a.m. and go all day. And Pops pounds a hit into right field. And that's how the game begins. So Pops Alejandro leads off with a base hit. Again, this is 16-inch style softball, very claustrophobic over here along the first baseline. Brings up Matt Scott. So this is Chicago style 16-inch softball. You're seeing it correct, no gloves. We'll get to some rules here. Matt takes a pitch. 60-foot bases, lead off, can't steal. 38 from the rubber to the point of home plate, 6-12 on the arc. And Matt swings and he drives it to the outfield right on the spot. Is the center fielder, and he can't make the catch. Now the throw gets away. Pops faked like he was going to go, but he'll stay right here. So the center fielder was there, Arnold Monroe, but he didn't make the catch. So the pitcher does get a drag step, 1 step left, right, or back. 2 fakes or hesitation. Third arm action must be to deliver the ball home. Throw or fake to the base is one of your throws or fakes. 6-12 on the arc. It is not a mush ball. It's a 16-inch clincher. And here's Shavante Samuel, and he singles. Pops Alejandro's going to score. Munchies take an early 1-0 lead. It brings up popcorn. So the Munchies have come out here, a little bit of a break on the drop fly ball in center. Popcorn takes that pitch. So we hope wherever you're at leading into your weekend, you're safe. A lot of craziness going on in the world right now. But we're glad you could take a little time to join us. So Pops walks, and now the bases are loaded. Still nobody out here. Creek Costello is going to come in here at a courtesy run. And it brings up JT Redis. JT back where he started with Future this year. And JT strokes it. Catch is made. Another run does score. 2-0 Munchies. Runner on second did advance. So runners on the corner now for Jeremy Fowler. And there's a little ground ball up the middle over to the short center. Not in time. Little bobble there anyway, it looked like. But the third run does score on the fielder's choice. And here's Greg Yursich. Of course, out here at Clyde Park, it's actually, I think, Kohler Field. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm pretty confident. 37th in Austin, just west of Austin, 1 block. And for many, many years, this was one of the best leagues in the city.
Right behind you, right here.
And there's a little short fly ball. That's trouble, and that's going to drop. Fowler will get to third. And a little flare that fell in short left field. And here comes Christian Camarillo. Well, they got guys from a lot of different teams. So whether or not they play in these type of events together, I'm not 100% sure. But I do know they're all friends. So Christian swings another little fly ball. Left fielder is there, and he puts it away. So Camarillo flies out, but in the inning, they do push 3 across. They take an early lead. So coming up here for 10 deep, it's going to be Danny Oliveras, Jamar Bardney, and Willie Fisher. Anybody gets on, KJ, Kevin Johnson, and then JoJo Reynolds. So 10 deep did pick up a guy or two for the event. Again, this is a double elimination tournament. We'll try to get Manny Sanchez on at some point. He can explain the significance of Joe Lopez and Phil Coronado. Of course, Phil, a Harrison Park legend. So here's Danny Oliveras, left fielder, leading off. And he hits a little flare, and that ball just fouled down the line. You might have caught Matt Scott just in the corner of the camera view. Based on the swing, he was moving forward. He had to slam the brakes on, but the ball was hitting an area where even had he gotten a good jump on it, I don't think he would have got there. Popcorn wanted that behind the plate a little deep. So they had a little rain out here. They did a good job. And there's a sky-high pop-out. Creek Costello makes the catch. Then he throws it at the camera guy. Matt Scott said he wanted to see if he still got it. Implying that I was going to actually try to catch the damn thing. So here's Jamar Bardney. And he slaps it hard down that line, and it gets past Fowler. And he is putting him up and laying him down. He's going to cruise into third, but they'll hold him there. 1-out triple for Bardney. He just slashed it hard down that left field line. Fowler couldn't cut it off. So the little bit of water we got out here was
ready at 4, Pop.
Probably a good thing. Fields can get a hair dusty out here, but I don't think it's going to be a problem tonight.
Yeah, good pitch.
Here's Willie Fisher. First RBI opportunity for the 10 deep team today. Yeah, we're going to show Hardway and Los Barachos next. We'll start a new stream for that. And there's a little overhand cut. Fowler makes the catch. Courtesy throw home. And Bardney kind of jogging in there. Popcorn playing possum. Tried to swipe the reverse tag on him, not in time. So 3-1 now, 2 outs. Brings up KJ. Base is empty. KJ, a little overhand touch, just got it over the top of Pops Alejandro, who gave it a good chase. And Pop's not the tallest kid in 16-inch softball. We've seen some of the longer guys like Mistari and Mahoney make catches like that one-handed, but Pop's not quite up to their 6'3", 6'4" standards. So here's JoJo Reynolds now.
Don't worry about me.
And JoJo, and that ball, and right to the second baseman, fortuitous bounce. I think that might have hit Brian Crosdale in the foot. It looked like he was trying to get out of the way. Deflected in the air right to Shavante Samuels. Took him right to the bag. So we head to the second, 3-1 Munchies. My target today. Guys throwing the ball around. Now right behind me, they got the grill. You don't want to screw that up, kids, because otherwise you're going hungry. They got hamburgers, hot dogs, tacos out here. Manny and his wife. He's not only running the tournament, but doing the food. So Sal Ramondo, the center fielder, then Brian Crosdale and Tree Costello, scheduled hitters here. And he goes up to going back Bama Woods, and he makes the catch as he falls and tumbles. Again, Bama called that ball real early. Might have been an easier play for the right fielder, maybe even Arnold Monroe in center. And there's a little bit of a lip here, so you're kind of going downhill a little bit. So here's Brian Crosdale. Brian takes that pitch for a ball. That pitch is inside as well. We are playing 1-1 count tonight.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Full count. Crosdale, base hit to center field.
No, we get it's one per inning. So yeah, bucket.
So one out base hit as Crosdale flips it in the center, and it brings up Creed Costello. Of course, Creed's run the Menace team forever. Brian, of course, helps him with that as well. And Cree hits that ball. Is it going to stay in the park? No, it's into the alleyway. And there's a lot of foul territory here. So you can see, and there's even more down that left field line than there is here. And back in the day when this was considered the best major league in the city, I mean, that's got to be well over 300 plus to the fence. And there were guys that were hitting them up on garages. So here's Creed Costello on the reset. And here's a little ground ball up the middle. He'll step and throw. And KJ couldn't make the catch. And the Munchies now cycle to the top of the lineup with 2 outs. And there's a swing and a base hit, and it sneaks through the left fielder. Costello is going to score. Pops will stay at second. So the left fielder got himself into no man's land. couldn't quite get there. He dove, but couldn't knock the ball down. And here comes Matt Scott, 4-1. Pops will be running on the swing. He's going to score on a single. And they're not playing Matt too deep in left field. He hit something hard toward the gap. Left fielder is going to have a little trouble trying to cut it off, way off the line.
There you go. There you go.
Long delay. Umpire really was looking at it. Matt didn't hear a strike. He thought it was ball 4. Took 2 steps out of the box, and the umpire said strike.
Still gonna come though.
So a very deliberate call there.
Come on, JoJo, get us out of here. Get me out of here.
And Matt Scott goes hard at Arnold, and he makes that catch. I got a feeling that ball might have been knuckling a little bit because Arnold was kind of looking at it a little funny there, but he put the hands up and made the nice catch. And that is so important for you young outfielders. You can't, a lot of guys just want to try to belly catch everything, but there are going to be many times during your career as an outfielder where you're going to have to use your hands. And if you're not doing it all the time, a lot of times you get into that situation and you might not react as well as you should or could. So again, coming up next, LBSC versus Hardway. So here's Eric Domingo. And Eric, that's going to fade foul over by the outhouse. As it jumps over they got a little fence there. They lock it up at night. And there's TP, the coolest cat in the park. It's Friday, man. It's Friday. If you're out there heading to wherever you're going to enjoy the weekend, safe travels. I don't drink anymore, but feel free to have a cold one on my behalf. So Domingo, and he slashes it up the alley. He's going to take the turn, but he'll stay here. Nice job there by the center fielder, coming over and holding him to a single.
Let's go.
And here's Terrell McGee.
Make sure we're getting out here.
Craig Jackson on deck. So leadoff man on here. 10 deep, trailing by 3. And there's a sky-high pop-up. And the third baseman made the call. Back. And, you know, and they called him out.
What?
Oh, now they called him safe. No, they called him safe. He was safe. So, hey, I'd rather see an umpire do that than stay with a bad call. So,
why? Is there an explanation though? Just miss it?
So here's Craig Jackson playing right field today. Takes that pitch a little deep, throw to first, not in time. And there you heard the base runner telling Craig, don't do that. And there's a base hit as he overhand chops it. Eric is going to get to third, and that's an example there where Munchie's a little slow getting it in, and that allowed Craig Jackson to head into second. So one out here, and it brings up Bryce Wood.
Hey, you don't have to score.
Bryce in a position to, excuse me, tighten this game up quite a bit with a base hit. Again, I don't think the runner was going to go to second there, but they were kind of jockeying around with it, and then they threw it kind of past the cutoff, and Wood comes through, and they're going to send him. Throw to the plate is up the line, and now Bama Woods does get back. So Bama delivers 4-3 ball game. Here comes Arnold Monroe, MVP of the Cinco de Mayo. Arnold got a lot of tools. Younger player. He was ecstatic when he heard he was the MVP. He had a real nice weekend. And there's a little roller. Brian Crosdale cuts it off. Bama does move into third. Brings us back to the top of the lineup and Danny Oliveras. Again, we're only in the bottom of the second here. And there's a little overhand cut, and it's going to drift foul. We got a little bit of a breeze. Kind of feels like it might be blowing from left field to right field. And there's a hard ground ball. Shavonte Samuels, long throw right on the money. Nicely done by Cap. As he went to his right hand, he was actually on the grass. I like what he did there. He planted the back foot and came over the top. Got a little underspin, let the ball work for him here. See on the replay. Very nice. That's a nice play there. We head now to the top of the third inning. Game's tightened up here. And of course, the guy that makes the great play always seems to end up leading off, doesn't he?
Hey, you gonna try to go big here?
So here's Cap. Takes that pitch a little deep. And there's an overhand chop. Coming in is the left fielder, and he makes the catch. You can tell that little cross breeze kind of cut that ball, but it was just kind of holding it in the air. Didn't really let it spin to go probably as foul as it should have. Ends up being an easy catch. So here's Popcorn. Tomorrow should be a nice day. Little ground ball, and he grounds it foul. And if you're in the area, come on out. One thing I can tell you is teams here are fairly evenly matched, so it's going to be some exciting softball this weekend. Of course, with Manny doing the food, we know the food's going to be really good. So grab a lawn chair and come on out. And there's a sky-high pop-up. Bardney's there, and he puts it away. So 2 up, 2 down here. Brings up JT Redis. JT was with Future. I believe he went to Impact last year. I want to say it was Impact. And he came back to Future because they made a commitment they were going to play in a few more events. Jeremy Fowler on deck. And that ball just ticked the plate for ball 4. And JT can run. Any kind of a stretch single, he's probably going to score. And Fowler hits it right on the screws, but right at Monroe, and he bobbles it, and that's going to let Redis score. Fowler does get to second. So it looked like Arnold wanted to come up throwing. And he ended up bobbling it. And Fowler, running hard all the way, took advantage. And that goes back to one of my points, kids. Don't admire your handiwork. Put your head down, run hard out of the box. And Greg Yersich can't make the catch. The left fielder got there. He was going down to his knees, and he could not secure the ball. So just like that, 3-run lead again. The 2-out walk coming back to haunt 10D. And Christian Camarillo. And now the courtesy run with Cap. And of course should.
Hey, who was the second out of the inning? It wasn't Cap.
It was big, it was popcorn.
So here comes Christian. And he hits it right at Bama. Stays right with it. But after 2 outs and nobody on, the door was open and the Munchies walked through it. So we head to the bottom of the 3rd. It's going to be Jamar Bardney, Willie Fisher, and then KJ. Ooh, hey, Yersich has got a pretty good arm at 3rd, but that was a wicked screwball. That ball was moving. I tell you, it's a rough job being a first baseman. When I was with Flashback, I played catch with Ralph Lawrence sometimes before games, and you know, you hear first basemen talk about guys that throw heavy, guys that throw light. I don't know if it was Ralph's release point, but he used to get a lot of topspin on his throws, and he threw hard, and the ball always felt like a cement brick hitting your hands. And then you got other guys, they throw it real hard at you, and you catch it, and it doesn't feel that way. So there's a ground ball. Cap stayed down, made the play. And I got to tell you, that rain and the way they dragged it, the infield in pretty good shape. So here's JoJo Reynolds. Yeah, 1-1 count, Nathaniel. So when you walk a guy in a 1-1, as a manager, it drives you nuts. So here's JoJo. Oh, I'm sorry, Willie Fisher. Thank you, TP. They both got the hairdo. It's I glanced up. I saw the. What are those dreads or braid? I don't know what they're, but you can't keep up with these young kids today. So we got a little girl throwing a few softballs out onto the field. The field was freshly dragged, and she was out with a bat making circles in the dirt. It's pretty adorable, actually. And that's way deep. So Brian Crosdale, you can see Willie really likes to walk up on the ball. He's got one of those big overhand tomahawk swings. And there he does, base hit. And it is rough on a pitcher because you got to find a way to discourage that. And the reason why a lot of guys do that hit that way is because if you throw heavy, you still got to go to 6 feet. And by moving way up in the box like that, they can still get the ball head high. So here's KJ, and he too tomahawks a hit. Willie will get to third, and KJ, and you okay, KJ? You all right? So KJ took a turn. You know, we always worry because he's had some leg issues in the past, but he seems like he's okay. Matt Scott almost tagged him in a delicate spot there. And here is JoJo Reynolds. So there's a high pop-up, and Yurcich is there.
It's not my favorite call out yet.
So, was a promising inning there, but KJ, with a little bit of a stumble there, kind of took the momentum out of it. So we're going to head to the top of the fourth inning. And Munchie's, so far, gotten a couple of breaks along the way, and they've taken advantage of it. This can bring up Sal Ramondo, Brian Crosdale, and Cree Costello. So we're approaching the halfway point here. And he drives it toward right center, but right on the spot, Arnold Monroe makes the play.
Hey, Turk. Come on, B.
And Crosdale just can't walk the dog. That ball just faded. That was fouled by maybe 4 inches. So again, this park, typical the way things were done back in the day. It's a decent size. The outfielders really, unless somebody juices one, don't really ever run into each other. Both diamonds facing each other, but tucked into a residential neighborhood. High pop up. And Domingo makes the catch.
Hey, B. Hey, he caught off his shoulder. Almost
So 2 up, 2 down here brings up Cree Costello. That was the Munchies. I would not necessarily want to be just sitting on this number. We have seen 10 deep roll up some big offensive numbers at times. And Cree swings, and left fielder can't make the catch. Second time he kind of laid out, got his hands on it, just couldn't make the catch. I think the problem is his hands are on top of the ball. When he goes to the ground, the momentum is just kind of taking the ball out of his hands instead of maybe trying to get some hands underneath it. So Creon, 2 out base hit, and it brings up Pops Alejandro. And Pops, Bartney robs him. Can't teach 6'4". He's got long arms, climbed the ladder, and took a hit away from Alejandro, trying to get his 3rd hit of the ball game. Might have been too quick on the replay. Hopefully we'll see it. Yeah. So halfway through, 6-3 Munchies. And that'll bring up the short center. Eric Domingo.
Heads up, heads
Ball's
up.
going to be out of play toward the food stand. Underneath the bleachers, we got a young fan trying to contort himself into a pretzel to go get it. Kind of like playing Twister with softballs. Nice arm. 2 strikes here on Domingo. And he spins that ball, and it is gonna just roll foul. Hit the carpet, was tracking along the line for a second there, but spun foul. So brings up Terrell McGee. Grabs a strike. And there's a shot into left field. So again, McGee, another one of those overhand tomahawk swings. Brings up Craig Jackson, the right fielder. And he tries to tomahawk, but that'll be foul. Of course, the Midsummer Classic will kick off on Thursday. Probably doing the draw for that on Monday, with Sunday being Father's Day. 2 weeks from tonight will be the Tom Exarna Class A National Championship team. We still got a few openings. If you're a Class A or a Class B team, reach out. And there's a hard shot, and it gets past Cap. McGee's going to head to third. Runners on the corner. Brings up Bama Woods. Got a big hit earlier in the game to drive in a pair.
Let's go. Let's get 2. Play with the lead. Make sure we get one.
So 1 out here. 1 runners on the corner. And bam, a sky-high pop-up. Cap is there. Puts it away, no tag. And Bama Woods looked like he was really trying to juice right center there. Front shoulder kind of flew open. He ended up popping it up, and it brings up Arnold Monroe now. So 2 outs now. The hitter will be running on that swing. And Arnold juices it to the alley. And that ball is down and through. And we're going to be all tied up, folks. Arnold Monroe, a 2-out, 3-run bomb to left center. And brand new ball game. And Arnold got a high pitch and just leaned on it. Jeremy Fowler was playing him a little shallow. That ball perfectly hit into the gap and hit hard. It hit the carpet and just kept rolling. Top of the lineup now. And there's a little flip down the line and right on the chalk. So Danny Oliveras walks the dog. That ball came down with a parachute on it, right on the chalk. And it brings up Jamar.
Too bad here, let's go. Too bad here. Get this one, go ahead.
So we got a couple of young fans wanting to see what's going on, and Jamar gets a base hit. And 10 deep showing signs of life here. They've already put 3 on the board.
No.
That's a Rambler. It is a wolf, though.
But you're not no wolf pack.
No, the Loyola Rambler.
He won the ASS with the wolf pack. He won with the wolf pack. He would have wire.
So here we go. It's going to bring up Willie Fisher as we got a few kids over here.
You saying that nickname for them?
For who, Willie?
Uh-huh.
I don't know his nickname.
It should be Willie Jr. You know his name is?
Willie Fisher.
It should be Willie Jr. Oh, you know their name? What's the score?
I know most of them. It's all tied at 6. So little ground ball, not anymore. Oliveras will score, and 10 Deep's taking their first lead of the game here at 7-6.
Gizmo! Stop, Giz!
So Willie drives it through the infield. A lot of 2-out damage here. 3-run homer and then a couple of singles, and it brings up Kevin Johnson. So here's KJ. Chance to add to it as this has turned into a 4-run inning here.
He playing without you. He with us. No, he with the deep.
KJ, hard grounder, and everybody's going to be safe, and another run scores. 5-run inning here for 10 Deep. And the inning started out okay. Looked like they were going to maybe get out of it with no damage. And since the Arnold home run, and here's JoJo, but Cap right there. And the inning comes to a close. We're going to head to the top of the 5th. Brand new ball game, new leader in town, and it's 10 Deep. So that was a good job there by 10 Deep. A couple of big hits. And between the 3-run homer and Bama Woods' 2-out, 2-run single, they got 5 of their 8 runs with 2 outs. Oh, I take that back. They scored all those runs, so it's 5 and 2 would be 7 of their 8. So the Munchies were cruising along, and we told you that 10 Deep has put up some numbers this year. And I got 8-6. So here's Matt Scott, and he goes big, going back as Oliveras, and then makes the catch. So the ball hung up a little bit. Top of the 5th inning here. You always wonder when you're leading for most of the game, how does the team that loses the lead react? And so here's Shavante. Hits it hard, but right at JoJo, who knocked it down and made the play.
off that line, y'all. Watch out, Trail. Hey, kid. First swing, go try your line.
So here's popcorn.
Let's go. Let's gotta go back and get it. Somebody else.
And popcorn hard to Willie Fisher. Flips it across for the third out. So they go 1, 2, 3 in the top of the fifth. Big Mo has changed sides. So it's going to be Eric Domingo started that 5-run fifth. Terrell McGee and Craig Jackson.
You got Donnell to come out? My bad.
10 Deep basically has their whole team out here. Sometimes when you get into these events, having your whole team out versus a team of guys that you kind of threw together does make a little bit of a difference because you're familiar with your group. You've come back as a group. You've scored runs as a group. So all of that is firmly tucked into your memory bank. And there's a little chopper. Pops Alejandro comes in and makes the play. That'll bring up Terrell McGee. Craig Jackson on deck. And he hits it hard, but right at Fowler, who ended up going down to his knees. And that ball might have been dancing a little bit too. Looked originally like it was going to carry out there. And all of a sudden, it dived on it. So here's Craig Jackson. And he hits one toward the gap, and Fowler got there, but it bounces off his midsection. He went into the slide, but he didn't get his hands up, and the ball just hit him in the midsection. And here's Bama Woods with Arnold Monroe on deck. 3-run homer last inning. Seems to have ignited 10 Deep a little bit. So we will have a second ball game tonight. Los Barazos Softball Club versus.
Can I run? Yeah. I ain't never say wrong.
Hardway.
I ain't no run. That's the sign. 260. No.
And that time, that warms my heart when I see a hitter yell no. And now he goes ground ball to Cap, and he'll make the play. So they get a goose egg. We'll head to the 6th. Munchie's trailing by a deuce. And it'll be JT Reddas, Jeremy Fowler, and Greg Yursich. So let's pay some bills. See the pretty logo, upper left-hand corner. Sweet Buzz. If you're an adult and you use infused products, check them out. Nick Drabol, short center from Moneyline, co-owner of that company. Please use them responsibly. So here's JT. And he whistles a fair ball down the line. big turn. He's going to try to go. And they called him out. JT looked like he might have rubbed against Bama Woods there. I don't think the umpire saw it. But I got to tell you, I think JT was kind of, he did change his path, but JT took a very wide turn there. So you got to cut the inside of the bag. And it almost looked like JT was trying to body hunt a little bit there. Here's Fowler. Monroe is there, and he makes the play. So the problem there is when you take that turn, kids, you got to be a little sharper than that. JT ran about six steps further toward right field instead of going right at the base, and that cost him there.
Right hand, Arnold, right hand. Take y'all time if you miss it on the throw.
And really, as a fielder, I mean, Bama was not in the baseline. Little ground ball, Fisher can't make the play, and Yursich is on.
Courtesy.
So they'll run for Yursich. Brings up Christian Camarillo here, so we'll see if the Munchies can generate any two-out offense.
Hey, if you got it, go. I get out your way. Come on, Jojo. Arnold. Got him.
Kickoff attempt not in time.
Am I allowed to go? Okay. Yeah, one base if they play on you.
Well, apparently they are allowing stealing here.
Good talk.
So Christian Camarillo trying to extend the inning.
Foul,
Flips it down the line, and that's foul. Yeah, I thought it was Kohler Park. Keep calling it Clyde Park because when the league was here, this is the Clyde Park District. They actually have like two park districts in Cicero, Clyde and Hawthorne. Of course, back in the day, Cicero was a pretty populated suburb. And there's a little roller up the middle. Domingo.
Safe, no!
And that might have been a break for 10 deep. So we head to the bottom of the sixth, still a two-run ball game. So Steve, you probably remember the old Hawthorne tournament. And that was chaos. We saw a little bit of it in the north-south out in Berwyn because they've got the three fields all playing from the corners, but Hawthorne's a slightly smaller footprint. Yeah, I think that might have been a break there for 10 deep. It brings up Arnold Monroe. Big three-run bomb tied the game at 6.
Two flip balls. Where are we finding it?
And Arnold, he stays hot. He slaps another hit up the middle.
Let's go! Double zero!
So I like what I'm seeing
Double zero!
out of Arnold. Dropped the fly ball early in the game and had kind of a soft first at bat, but since then he's recovered nicely, and that's always a good sign when a young player can do that. And here's a little bit of a swing by the leadoff man, Danny Oliveras. see a lot of younger kids if they come out of the gate and make a mistake sometimes. They'll carry it throughout the ball game. But that doesn't seem to be the case with Arnold. They're just moving on and playing ball. So there's a high fly ball, and that ball died up there. Looked like it was going to be a routine play at third, not in time. Arnold did hold on. Fowler looked like he was camped under it, and all of a sudden, he came running in. So here in the bottom of the sixth, 10 deep, a couple of base runners here, nobody out. For Jamar Bardney, chance to maybe break this open. And that ball's going to spin out of play over here. So if you're the Munchies, you got to try to figure out how to get out of here. Maybe just with one. And there's a ground ball that is going to score one. But he does drive in one. Brings up Willie Fisher. Ideally, you would have wanted Jamar to maybe hit that ball at second, so he could have got Oliveras to third. I mean, you'll take the run, obviously, but when you got second and third, nobody out, your minimum floor, what you're looking for is at least a deuce. And there's a base hit, so Fisher bails him out. Yep, you are correct. I wish my other fans were paying attention. And actually the score is still wrong because it's 10-6. Brings up KJ. So a couple of big insurance runs here in the bottom of the sixth. KJ, that's going to be out in the street. Bouncing around over a couple of SUVs. So again, the Munchies got out of the gate good. They got to 6 in a hurry. And now they've just kind of found their offense in neutral here. If I'm not mistaken, I see Wes Shannon walking around taking in the activities. And KJ, little ground ball up the middle, and Cap was trying to beat Bardney to the bag. He was trying to pick the ball up and run, but
let's go. Let's get this one. Let's go. I'm good.
Couldn't make the play. Here comes JoJo Reynolds.
Roll it here. Roll it here. Why you my dog, Cap? Hey, a lot of pool. Hey, I'll take it. Right. I'll take it, folks.
So 10 deep, making a hard push to blow it completely open. JoJo towering fly ball, and that's out of play. And there's a little bit of a hill in that deep corner. They used to store like extra clay mix down there. They don't do that anymore. Now it's kind of got grass over it. Almost like the Houston Astro Park when they used to have that little hill or pole at 430 feet away out in left center out there. And JoJo spins that, so that'll be the second out. Brings up Eric Domingo. You're down 4 here. If you're the Munchies, you'd like to find a way to get out of here. At least give yourself an opportunity in the top of the 7th. And Dominguez, a little fly ball, Camarillo. So do or die 7th coming up here for the Munchies. They trail by 4. It'll be Sal Ramondo, Brian Crosdale, and Creek Costello, bottom 3rd of the lineup. And it looks like Rich Aceves, Roach, has grabbed the bat. We'll see who he ends up swinging for. So second game was scheduled for 8:30. We're probably going to let the teams take a couple of hacks. So depending on how quick of an inning it is, we'll probably be starting a couple of minutes after 8:30. And that will be a new stream. And Rich swings and he just punches a base hit over the infield. And now they'll re-enter Sal Ramondo, and it brings up Brian Crosdale. So leadoff man on. Of course, Roach played with me on Mudville. Rich was always a solid offensive player. Crosdale swings and he gets a base hit to center. First 2 hitters on. Brings up Creek Costello. One more hit here. And they'll courtesy here with Christian Camarillo.
Whatever, it don't matter. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Come on, man, I think he's out.
10-6.
You know what you're doing.
7, top of 7. So here's Cree. A couple of more base hits. The game could get interesting here as Pops Alejandro on deck. And if you're JoJo, you don't want to walk Cree. That would put the tying run in the box. And Cree strokes it and Bama dropped it. No, there's no force out there. This could be a triple play to end the game. No. All right, that's the right call. The rule is if you can catch the ball with a routine effort, and Bama kind of purposely, it was a soft line drive, and now he's
Hey, I didn't mean to make contact with you.
now he's saying he never tried to catch the ball, and that's obvious. So good job by the umpire. I was going to say something, but I didn't know if the umpire saw it. So it was a soft little line drive. Obviously, he purposely didn't catch it. And here's Pops.
Hit me again, Pops. Hit me again.
And see Baracho's hanging out kind of in the field of play in foul territory. They're almost gotten away. Because the rule is if the umpire feels you could have caught it with a routine effort, they don't want to put runners in jeopardy. You saw all the chaos that ensued after that. And Pops to JoJo, over to Domingo. A run will score, but they get the fielder's choice for out number 2. 10-7. Runners on the corner here, so the tie is still in the box.
Come on, Manny. Put a hit. Put it on cat. How much we got? More. No, he got a sexy run here.
No, he can't run no more. Hey, he out. That's out. Hey, he out. No, he just ran with the guy.
Don't worry about that. It's 2 out.
Catch the ball.
But I wasn't paying him for it. I did this on purpose, so he can't say I tried to catch him. Right off the rip, but I wasn't paying him for looking to come out. Locked in on the ball.
Bama says, I did not try to catch the ball. He can't say I dropped it on purpose, but that's the whole point of the rule.
Hey, he was out at second base, bro.
Yeah, Camarillo pinch ran for Crosdale. Yeah, okay. So the tying run, one run did score, but there Camarillo got forced. So he was just kind of trying to pull a fast one. So here's Matt Scott. So even a 2-run homer here won't tie the game, but you do have Shavonte Samuels on deck. So Matt's job here is just to get on base. And he slashes one. Fisher can't make the play. Alejandro will get to third. Matt Scott slashed it the other way. Fisher got a hand on it. Now the tie is in the box. A big fly here. And we'd be all tied. So Munchie's trying a late inning comeback. And Shavonte gets under it. And Arnold Monroe and 10 deep holds on. They win the ball game 10-7. So the Munchies got to 6 and then stayed there. The big blow that turned the tide, Arnold Monroe's 3-run homer. And they'll stay clean in the winner's bracket. So we're going to click off, folks. We're going to be back in a little bit with the nightcap.